So students, after SN1 and SN2 mechanism, now we'll see about the elimination reactions of haloalkanes. Elimination reaction is the reaction in which the removal of the two atoms or the groups of the atoms from the adjacent carbon atom take place. In the elimination reaction, mainly we are going to see about the dehydrohalogenation. Dehydrohalogenation is the removal of one hydrogen and one halogen from the adjacent carbon atom to give us the alkene, that is dehydrohalogenation. In this reaction, alkyl halides, that is heated with the alcoholic KOH, and it undergoes the beta elimination. Removal of the hydrogen from the beta carbon and halogen from the alpha carbon, hence this is called as the beta elimination. Here is the example. Now this alkyl halide RX bond is given. Here X halide bond. When heated with the alcoholic KOH, that gives the C double bond C, that is the alkene, giving us the HX. Now here X halide molecule is removed from this carbon, and from the adjacent carbon hydrogen is removed. So we are getting the double bond between these two carbon, forming the halides. For example, suppose now ethyl bromide that reacts with the alcoholic KOH, then this KOH after heating that gives CH2 double bond CH2 plus KBr plus H2. Means now here we are removing the Br from this carbon atom and one hydrogen from this CH3 carbon. So we are getting here the alkene form, which is named as the ethene CH2 double bond CH2 plus along with the formation of the KBr and water molecule. Now suppose if there are two or more non-equivalent beta hydrogen atoms in the halides are present, then the reaction gives a mixture of the products according to the Sedzup's rule. So in this case, we have to apply the Sedzup's rule. For example, we are taking here 2-bromobutene, CH3, CH2, CHBr, CH3. Now in the 2-bromobutene, to this carbon, that is this carbon to which Br is joined, that is called as the alpha carbon, and next carbon alpha and next carbon, that is the beta. So there are the two next adjacent carbon, one is this, other one is this. Let this is the beta 1, this is the beta 2. In this case, two products are possible. That is, after heating this 2-bromobutane, we can get, suppose beta 1 means from this carbon we are removing the hydrogen, then we will get the product CH3, CH, double bond CH, CH3. Now, other possibility is that is we can remove the carbon from this beta 2 carbon. If we remove the carbon from this beta 2, then we will getting the product as CH3, CH2, CH, double bond CH. So now in this case, we are getting two different products, but 1 in and second one is but 2 in. So which is the actually major product? In this case, we are getting the major product as a but 2 in, which is a major product CH3, CH double bond CH, CH3. And this product is according to the Sedzup's rule. What is then the Sedzup's rule? Sedzup's rule says that is when such possibility is there, that is there is two non-equivalent carbons are there, then we have to remove the hydrogen atom from that carbon which carries the less number of hydrogen. So in dehydrohalogenation reaction, the preferred product is that alkene, which has greater number of alkyl groups attached to the doubly bonded carbon atom. Okay. So below given the order of this stability of the alkyl halides. So you are getting a R2C double bond Cr2 is more stabilized than the R2C double bond CHR, which is more stabilized than R2C double bond CH2, and then which is RCH double bond CHR, and this stabilizes the RCH double bond CH2. So that is according to the Sedzup's rule. So in this dehydrohalogenation, we have to follow the Sedzup's rule. Okay, this is about the elimination reaction, that is the dehydrohalogen reaction. Now further we are going for some more reactions, that is now we will see about the reaction with the active metals. Active metals means like metals like the sodium, magnesium, cadmium that reacts with the alkyl halides, alkyl chlorides, alkyl bromides or alkyl iodides to form the compounds containing the carbon metal bond. These compounds in which there is a carbon metal bond is there, such compounds are known as the organometallic compound. These are known as organometallic compound. Okay. First we'll see about the reaction with the magnesium metal. When magnesium metal, here you can see the reaction Rx plus Mg reacts in the presence of dry ether, that gives RMgX. RMgX, that is known as the alkyl magnesium halide, also known as the Grignard's reagent, which is a very important reaction. So we can prepare the Grignard's reagent by reaction with the alkyl halide with the magnesium metals. The condition of the dry ether, that is a must, because in the presence of dry ether only alkyl halides reacts with the Grignard's reagent. Why it is so? Because now your Grignard's reagents are very reactive compounds and they react with the water or the compounds containing the hydrogen attached to the electronegative element. And after reacting with this forms the hydrocarbons or the alkene. Here you can see that is RMgS, Grignard's reagent, reacts with the CH3OH to give us the hydrocarbon, alkenes are formed, or RMgX plus NH3 that gives us the RH again, that is the hydrogen is formed. So, and therefore we are carrying out this reaction in the presence of dry ether. You can see here some more examples of these reactions. Ethyl magnesium iodide, that is the CH3CH2MgI plus methyl alcohol CH2OH gives CH3CH3, means it gives us the ethane. Same way ethyl magnesium iodide can react with the NH3, also that gives us the CH3CH3, that is again we can get the methane. So these are the reactions with the active metals. Now also it can react with the sodium metals also, sodium or zinc metal also. That reaction is known as a Wurtz reaction. So you can see that is alkyl halides reacts with the sodium metal. Again the condition is important, in the presence of dry ether they gives us the RR, means gives the alkane which is the higher alkane plus 2NaX. Higher alkanes are obtained in the Wurtz reaction because you can see that is that the two molecules of the alkyl halides that reacts in this reaction, and now this alkane that is formed mostly that is having the twice the number of the starting alkyl halides. So we are getting the higher alkene. We can see one example here below given, the examples of ethyl bromide. Ethyl bromides, two molecules of that reacts with the sodium metal in the dry ether and it forms a butane CH3CH2CH2CH3 plus 2NaBr. So in the product we are getting the product which is having the 4 carbon atoms and the starting reactants, starting alkyl halides having the 2 carbon atoms. So here the number becomes twice than the starting alkyl halides. Remember that. Now we can react that the two different alkyl halides also as shown in the below reaction. That is you can react, suppose one that is the methyl bromide, that is CH3Br, or you can react with this as a ethyl bromide C2H5Br. Instead of taking two same molecules, two different alkyl halides can be reacts with the sodium metal in the dry ether. In this case different products are possible. You can see here first product we can obtain as the ethane CH3CH3 or C2H5H6. Okay, you can get propane also here CH3, CH2, CH3, that is a propane. Propane, as well as you can get here butane also, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. 4 carbon atoms compounds can also be formed. So in the different alkyl halides, if will combine, accordingly we can get the different types of the product. So these are the some reactions of the haloalkane. So in this case, students, we are seeing about the reactions